Well, in second place, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who finished at a record of 9-8 and really felt like the disappointment of the league at the end of the season. The Jags were playing some amazing football midway through the season. They were fighting for the number one seed. They were possibly going to be getting the bye, and all of a sudden it just fell apart. You can blame it on Trevor Lawrence getting hurt, but they also signed him to a massive deal in the offseason. So he's going to be around for a while. Calvin Ridley leaves the team. And they did lock up a few of their mainstay players. The Jags are a very interesting team because the Jags on paper seem like every year they have what it takes, and somehow, some way, they turn into the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they don't end either making the playoffs or something just crazy happens and they just can't get out of it. Brandon, what's your thoughts on where they're at right now? And they just re-signed Lawrence. So what's your thoughts on Jacksonville, bro?
They are honestly one of the biggest like boom or bust kind of teams. Just again, just based on the talent, just based on the prospects they have, like the way the signings they had this offseason. Like this team every year, it's like, are we gonna get Saxonville? Or are we gonna get Sucksonville? Like that's pretty much the route that we're gonna go. So, it's a coin flip with them, honestly. Just looking at some of the signings they got. I mean, obviously, you resign oh my gosh, Trevor Lawrence, you resign Josh Allen, bringing in some guys like Gabe Davis, wide receiver. So like they've made some good signings, but their draft I wasn't too impressed with. It was kind of middle of the pack for me, in my opinion. So I don't think they're gonna beat Houston, but I mean, I think they're relatively pretty much kind of the same, maybe a slight step up from where they were last year, but it's not world beaters though.
Yeah, and their draft, their wide receiver was their first round pick, and that was Brian Thomas Jr. I failed to mention that one, but was one of the highly touted wideouts coming into the draft. G Mike, what happened do you think last season? Do you blame it on injuries, and how much of injuries are you allowed to do? Because Jacksonville has kind of been notorious for this, which is kind of falling apart. What's your thoughts on that?
I kind of do blame it on the injury of Trevor Lawrence's knee. I think that really affected him throughout the season. But I'm with Brandon on this one, man. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are too inconsistent. I think one year they're great, another year they're bad, another year they're good, another year they're horrible. Like they just can never have a steady motion on where their team is going to go. They can't have a steady motion on whether either they're going to suck really bad or they're going to be great and consistently be great throughout the years. Like I think it's just like a bad luck thing for them. I think they need to do some Hispanic stuff and do some santeria out there and just they need to get the candle in the locker room and get all the bad
It's some
energy
sage in the
vibe.
locker.
Yeah, dude, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it
They're
is
trying to
over
get the
there, man.
spirit of Urban Meyer out.
Maybe the yeah, maybe the owner did some like Satanist stuff, and this is why he gets London games all the time, and he's getting so much money. I don't know what's going on, man. I honestly don't. But just sticking with like their offseason moves and what they've done. Sucks that they let go of Calvin Ridley. I think he was very promising. Bringing in Gabe Davis, yeah, it's a good replacement, but is it a great replacement? We don't know because he didn't get that many opportunities in Buffalo with Stephon Diggs out there. And dude, when it comes to the running back situation, like they don't even know if Travis Etienne is gonna be number one. I keep hearing Tanks Bigsby is gonna be number one too. Like, so which one is it? And it's just like now we got to see how Trevor's going to do with his recovered knee because we don't know how healthy he is and how well that they can play. And their biggest upset to me was their red zone offense. I think they were probably like the fifth worst in the league. And it's like when you're a team that's supposed to be in the top 10 in the AFC and you weren't even, no, I think they were close. Yeah, they were a little remotely close, but when it comes to the red zone offense, they weren't. And that, dude, if you have horrible red zone offense, man, it's gonna be tough for you guys to win games, bro. So I want to see what they really do with that this upcoming year.
Yeah, and I think Jacksonville they tend to sign the right players. They try to do the right things. It just seems like they're constantly one step behind the eight ball, if you will, and like they can never have everybody on the same page at the same time. You'll draft your generational quarterback, but then you have a bad head coach. You know, you'll find a diamond in the rough with signing Calvin Ridley. Whenever he got that amazing deal from that Atlanta, they only had to give up like a fifth round pick or something for him. And then he's gone the next year. You know, like it just seems like Jacksonville has constantly for the last few years have just always been right there and just waiting on something to happen. It just never does seem to happen for them.
It's the con curse, man. It's what it is.
That mustache does look kind of Wario-ish, kind of I don't know.
It's
kinda evil.
me. It's me.
Yeah, he's like the evil Mario, the old Wario over there. But